Hi guys, my name is Nikki and welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is my second video that I'm making, and today I thought I would switch it up a little bit and show you guys how I do my foundation routine. So this is going to be a quick video. I'm just going to show you what I do for my foundation and talk to you guys a little bit. So yeah, let's get started. Alright guys, so we're just going to ignore my eye makeup because that's kind of tragic. I did it kind of quick. Just ignore it. So anyway, the start of any good foundation routine for me is with skincare, because I think that your foundation only looks as good as your skin does. So I'm going to start off with my moisturizer. This is the CeraVe Moisturizing Lotion. It has hyaluronic acid in it. It's super good for dry skin, which I have. So I'm actually running out of it, so I hope I have enough. So you really don't need a lot of it. I kind of got a lot right here. So I just take it and I spread it across my face. And I really just moisturize before I start my foundation routine. Most foundations, even if they are dewy, they tend to show off a lot of the texture and dryness in my skin. So I try to make sure I always moisturize so that everything can look good and perfect on my skin. The next little skincare treat that I use is this mist from Pixie Beauty. This is their Glow Mist. This has a lot of oils in it. I love this. It's, once again, super good for dry skin, and you really have to shake it up to get the oils all mixed in. So I'll shake it and then spritz it onto my face. I use a lot because this stuff is addictive for me. So as you can see, it leaves my face super glowy and kind of oily looking. So I'm just gonna fan my face off, try to dry it off before I start going into my foundation. Okay, so I have dried off my skin a little bit, and I'm now going to go into my e.l.f. Hydrating Primer. This is a holy grail primer for me. It's like $6, I think. It's so good and really moisturizing. So I'm just going to take some of this and dot it all around my face. And then I'm just going to take my fingers and blend it in across my skin. Once again, I have dry skin, so all of these steps might seem really excessive to some people, but to me, it's what I feel like I need to do to make my makeup look the best that it can look. Moving on to foundation, I am going to be using the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Matte Foundation, whatever it is. A lot of people might think, wait, you've been talking all about how you have dry skin, why are you using a matte foundation? Well, that's why I do all the hydrating steps that I do beforehand, so that I can get ready for a nice long-wearing matte foundation that looks really good on my skin. So I'm just going to shake this up, and then I squeeze a little bit onto the back of my hand. I usually only use 2 or 3 pumps, depending on how full coverage I want my look to be. And then I take my damp Real Techniques sponge, and I just start blending it into my skin. I try to work in sections because this foundation does dry down pretty quickly, and I don't really like to use a lot of product. I try to spread it out as much as I can because I just think it looks better when you're not caking on quite as much. And if you really do build it up slowly, you can get a more full coverage look if that's what you're looking for. I'm not a super full coverage queen, but I do like to cover up any pimples or redness or anything that I do have in my skin. And then if I have any extra product, I don't really use concealer on my face, so I'll just take it onto the tip of the sponge and I'll use the extra product and build it up a little bit under the eye to act as a concealer. I don't like using concealer. I think it ends up making my makeup look way too cakey, and that's just not a look that I really like or go for. I am definitely a less is more kind of person when it comes to base makeup, at least. Not really my eyes, as you can tell, but... So yeah, I think this looks really good, so now we're going to move on to powder. So powder is a step that kind of scares me because it can get really out of hand really quickly. So I use some different techniques that other people don't always use to make sure that it goes smoothly. So I use the Coty Airspun Loose Powder. I use it in the shade Translucent Extra Coverage, and there's a lot in the lid right now. This really goes everywhere. So I just take a beauty sponge, I get some, oh my god, it's spilling everywhere. Great. I take some on the end of the sponge, and I know that looks like a lot, but we take our finger and we tap all the excess off, just so that there's really only a little bit left on the sponge. and then I go into my face and I powder my face. I start with my under eyes because that's one of the spots where I do need the powder, and I typically only try to powder where I need it, or because sometimes I like to use cream products on my face. Instead of using like a powder blush, I will use a cream blush. I think it looks really good on my skin, and once again, just things can get really powdery and really dry really fast, so I powder my nose because makeup really does break up on my nose. The one spot in my face that I get oily ever is my nose, but even then it's just kind of like a healthy oil. It's not excessive. So once again, I'm still just tapping off the powder, and I'm going to very lightly powder the rest of my face. Once again, I don't always do this step. Sometimes I just skip the powder and I only powder under my eyes or wherever I need it. But today, just for the purpose of the video, we're going to powder everywhere. So now, even though that we just powdered our face and it's super matte and super flat, I have to bring back some of that dewiness and some of that oil. So I go in again with the Pixi Glow Mist. Sometimes I use this, and sometimes I use just the Hydrating Milky Mist. It depends on how much powder I use and how dewy I want my skin to be. But I just take this again, and I go a little bit lighter misting this time. And this just really brings back some of the life into my face, and it makes my makeup look more like skin and less like a bunch of powder on me. So that's the last step I do in my foundation routine. And then I'll powder, bronze, blush, highlight, do all that stuff to my face, and then I'll be good. So I'm gonna go do that off camera, and then we'll close up the video. Okay everybody, so that is it for today's video and today's look. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, even though it was a shorter one. I just kind of wanted to throw up a quick video. I have been in school and it's been rough for me. It's taking up a lot more time than I thought it would. So I'm trying to figure out a good time for me to schedule my uploads and my filming days so that I can keep up like a good weekly schedule for you guys. But anyway, I really hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you will please give me a big thumbs up and leave a comment and subscribe to my channel if you really want to. So thank you everybody for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.